Welcome back to Simulation. If you have not seen Chapter 1, please watch that video first. The link will be in the description. For those who already saw it, let's continue to where we left off. Harry woke up in a dim-lit room. Standing up? How? Harry looked around, perplexed and worried. What is this place? Where did he end up? Is this even real? Harry noticed two other people on the other side of the room talking to each other. They both seemed to look like they were about his age. One of them was a female with long, messy brown hair tied to a large ponytail, wearing a purple sweater and light blue jeans. The person beside her was a male with short jet black hair and wore a green jacket and dark blue jeans. Were those his captors? Or were they captured like he was? Harry wasn't sure what to do. He looked around the room for any escape. There was no door, no window, nothing. How did he end up in a room with no entrance or exit to come in from? Harry looked at his own two hands. Seemed fine to him. He felt his face, and then he realized something was missing. No, it was supposed to be missing, but it wasn't. His eye patch was no longer there. He could see out of his left eye. What is happening? Is he dead? No, that's impossible. He remembered being dragged out of his own house, unless his body was taken to be hidden from the scene of the crime. No, one swing to the head like that shouldn't be enough. This must be a dream. This has to be an illusion. Harry was interrupted in his thoughts from a voice that spoke from behind. Hey, you look lost. Are you alright? Harry turned and noticed the other two people in the room acknowledged his presence. It was the girl that spoke to him. What is this? Harry mumbled. Who are you? It's hell here, the boy answered. You just got here, I assume. Not by choice, but yes, Harry answered, not ready to have a talk with these strangers, especially in the situation he's in right now. What's going on here? He asked with almost no emotion. Survive till dawn, repeat, the girl responded. Harry wasn't sure what she meant and wasn't even more baffled when people suddenly just appeared in the room with them. What on earth is happening? This is not real. You look confused. Don't worry, you'll get used to this at some point, trust me, the girl continued. Oh wait, introductions. My apologies. My name is Octavia, and this is Wade. There was a pause. And you? Harry hesitated for a moment. They seemed a little too friendly to be trusted. However, he couldn't at least say his name to them. Harry, he said. Octavia held out her hand. It's a pleasure to meet you, Harry. Harry shook her hand, not really thinking. Harry saw Wade in the corner of his eye. Wade had no expression. He looked lost too, but Octavia seems to know what she's doing. Harry thought of asking them the last thing they could remember before arriving. But before he could even ask, they heard a chime ring. Oh, that's the starting chime, Octavia exclaimed. Remember, survive till dawn, and watch out for it. The next thing Harry knew, he appeared in a completely different area. It was dark, quiet, and he had nothing but a flashlight. Wait, where did this come from? Is this a game? Is he trapped inside of a game and needs to find a way to escape it? Harry was unsure of what to do next. Harry turned on the flashlight that he somehow received and began to explore. In the distance, Harry could hear a few screams. What was going on back there? Harry silently followed the screams to try and figure out what it was, only for a boy with reddish-brown hair and a gray jacket to run by him. Run! He cried without turning back around. Run? Harry thought aloud. He turned to where the boy just came from, and a figure emerged. It was tall, and its eyes were glowing a bright crimson red. It was carrying a machete in its left hand. Harry, having no other better ideas to think of, began to run. However, the figure chasing him was quick, and it wouldn't be easy to lose. Harry attempted to cut as many corners as he could to avoid it, but it was hot on his tail. Harry ended up running into a dead end and had nowhere to go. The figure had been cornered. It began to step forward only to get caught on something. Harry looked down at its foot, and it stepped into a bear trap. As it began to pry itself free, Harry took this opportunity to run past it and head in the opposite direction. After more running, he stopped and looked back. He seemed to have lost it. Harry took a moment to catch his breath until a voice called over to him. "Hey, over here!" It was the same boy who ran past him earlier. He was beckoning to Harry to a room. Harry, not knowing whether he should trust him or not, decided to follow. The boy shut the door after Harry entered. There were 2 other people in the room with them. One of them was tooling with her flashlight, while the other was in a corner, breathing heavily. "He wasn't following you, was he?" the boy in the jacket whispered. "Who?" Harry responded. Then he realized who he was talking about. "Oh, that. No, I avoided him." "Good. We should be safe for now," the boy remarked. He turned to the other 2 in the room. "Guys, remember we can't stay in here forever. He'll eventually find us." Yeah, we know," the girl tooling with her flashlight said sarcastically without looking up. She had pitch black hair tied to a large fluffy ponytail, wore a cat ear headband, a gray and pink hoodie with gray jeans and black boots. The boy in the corner wore a striped black and white t-shirt, his short but tall black hair brushed to the side, and the boy who let Harry in had medium-length reddish-brown hair, dull green eyes, a white shirt, a gray sweater with bright blue jeans and white sneakers. Harry had so many questions. "What is this?" he said finally. "Where are we right now?" It was quiet, but Harry could hear the girl chuckling. The boy in the jacket began to speak. "You must have gotten here recently," he said. "Of course, we need to avoid that psycho with the sword. There are generators around the place that we can activate and provide power to the building. It will be just enough to open the doors and escape. Either that, or survive until dawn, and then start again. Simple, but not simple at all." "Okay, let me put it this way," Harry insisted. "Is there anything recent you remember before getting here? I'm not talking about here in this very room. I mean this place in general. Like, do you remember anything from your past?" That's when the girl began to laugh. "Is that even a question?" she snorted. "Who wouldn't know their past unless they were brainwashed? Like you, probably." "That's not what I meant," Harry continued, trying to keep his voice level. "Before I got here, a person broke into my house and knocked me out with a bat. Did that happen to any of you?" Before any of them could answer, the door swung open, and the figure that chased Harry earlier was now in the room. It immediately thrusted its machete into the brown-haired kid. He died on the spot. The girl tried running past the killer, but it grabbed her by her long ponytail and pulled her back, stabbing her from the back through her stomach. Harry stood frozen in fear and confusion as the killer turned toward the other boy, throwing his machete into his head. The machete retracted out of his head back into the killer's hand. It slowly turned to face Harry. Harry was concerned. He had nowhere to go. Around the killer, the bodies of those that just got killed vanished. As it took a step forward and plunged its weapon into Harry's chest. In shock by the pain and the disappearance of the bodies, Harry fell to his knees and watched the killer turn and slowly walk out of the room. He looked at the wound from his chest only to find no blood. There's no blood? What is this? This isn't real. And then, Harry passed out on the floor. It took Hillary a few days to settle in her new space. Of course, the guest room was hers for now, which was fine, and this new room was not what Hillary was trying to get used to. At least once every day, Noah's little brother Neil would knock and visit and try to get Hillary to hang out with everyone downstairs, but every time Hillary declined. After first her parents and now her brother, she felt like she had no time to hang around with Noah's family. As annoyed as Hillary had gotten with Neil's presence, she didn't hate him either. She knew he was only trying to invite her to hang out, but she felt like she really didn't have the time. She had her own personal job to do, and she wanted to get to the bottom of it. For her parents, for Harry, for everyone else that those people killed. Neil knocked and then entered the room. Hillary only assumed he'd ask if she had time to join him and his brother downstairs. "I'm sorry, Neil, I don't really have the time," Hillary said without turning around. "Actually, that's not what I'm here to ask," Neil said. Hillary stopped typing. She turned around and saw Neil at the door. He took a step forward and then closed the door behind him. Every time I see you, you're always on your laptop. What massive project do you have that keeps you working all day? Don't you ever need a break? Hillary looked back at her laptop, looking at the progress she has been making. It seemed to lead her nowhere, but she had to keep trying. She turned back around to Neil. Wait, did he move closer, or was Hillary out of her mind? I'll be done with this soon. I just need a few more days or so, Hillary said finally. Neil didn't move. To him, it wasn't very convincing. Is there something you won't tell me? Neil questioned. You weren't always like this, were you? Hillary didn't know how to reply. She hardly knows this guy. How does he know something is wrong already? It's only been a few days. I'm fine, Neil, Hillary finally spoke. Then what's that? He asked, pointing to her laptop. Hillary did not know what to say other than, it's my own private business. That's not for school, is it? Neil uttered. I just told you, Hillary said. I'm sorry, but could you just leave me alone, please? There was a pause. Okay, Neil said finally. But if you won't tell me, you could at least tell Hope. She's someone you'll trust, right? Hillary said nothing. She couldn't even look at Neil anymore. She was getting annoyed with his presence more and more every second. I'm sorry if I upset you, Neil said finally. I'm just trying to help, that's all. I'll let you work. Neil left the room. Hillary, glad to be alone without Neil's interrogations, was able to calm herself. Only after she relaxed was when something in her head clicked. I'm just trying to help. Familiar words. Harry's words. The last words she heard her brother say. And then he was gone. Did she cause Harry to leave? Did her brother give up on her? If that's true, will Neil end up doing the same thing? She thought about those words again. I'm just trying to help. Maybe Hillary could finally use that help. Maybe Neil's right. She should let someone know about this. And who better than her own sister Hope to start with? Hillary decided that she would talk to Hope tomorrow and tell her everything. Tell her she needed her help. It was time to finally take her brother's advice. That concludes Chapter 2 of Simulation. If you made it this far and you're enjoying the story, drop a like down below. And if you're enjoying the content I create, consider subscribing. It's free and you can always change your mind later. Hope to see you again for Chapter 3.